Did you guys notice how nice and clean the inside of this warmer is? Here it is. This is a tip from one of our managers. She puts a tablespoon of cream of tartar inside, and it makes it so much easier to clean, and she does the same on her wells. So if you have a lot of calcium buildup on your wells, this will take care of it. So one of the things that I've noticed in doing my little walkthroughs, a lot of times I notice that we are not draining these on a daily basis as we should. We should drain them and obviously wipe them down, clean, clean the seals, the door seals. When you get done at the end of the day, just leave your doors closed. Now we know that probably someone's going to come by and close them, but at least do your part and leave them open. The reason why you want to do that is because then you won't get mildew build up, and the seals will also last longer because they're not being compressed all the time. And you want to do the same with all your other equipment, like your rational ovens and your regular ovens. So it's good to leave the doors open. Mainly it will prolong the life of your seals. And plus, the bacteria and all that will get trapped in there, at least they'll evaporate. So get in the routine of whatever works for you and your staff. The bottom line is we do want them drained and cleaned daily. If you refill them after you clean them, that's fine. But always make sure when you turn these on, make sure that you have water in there, because I don't know how many times I've seen it, and the first thing people will do is they'll grab a pitcher of water, cold water, put it in there, and that is so bad for your heating element because it steams or warp, and once that baby gets warped, that's it. It has to be replaced. So we're back to the CVAP warmers. It's okay to put a sheet pan like here on the upper shelf, but don't do that because that really kills the efficiency of the unit. The warmer gets its heat from the water. And always make sure before you just go turn it on every morning, make sure there's water in there. One of the key things, make sure you have plenty of water. It should be at least halfway or more. I see them a lot of times like barely right here, and that's not good because it'll evaporate through the day and you'll burn up, you'll burn up the water, and then eventually you'll cause damage to the heating element of this baby. You guys are familiar with the microwave. Here's something that make sure you guys don't do. I know you guys get busy, and one of the things that I see happen, and it's the number one thing that will kill microwaves, these are the door switches right here. Please do not let the door slam. That is one of the worst things you could do for a microwave. And obviously, at the end of the day, most of you ladies do a real good job cleaning it, wiping it down. A lot of people don't know this, but these right here, and this is really real clean. These filters are removable. You pop these, you slide them over, and you can clean them. This right here, if these get clogged up, then there's no good circulation for the microwave. It kills the magnetrons. The magnetrons is what makes the heat for the microwave over. And also, never hit one of the start buttons or one of the program buttons without anything in there. And obviously, you guys know, no metal. Hot tip. When you come in the mornings, I know we all get in a routine, but don't get in a routine. You come in at 6:30, 7, and turn all your equipment on. I see this too many times. You turn your equipment on. The hot days, guess what? It's putting more heat. Just get in the habit of maybe turn it on like an hour before you need it. It saves your equipment will last a little bit longer because everything has a life expectancy. The more hours, let's say you come in at 6:30, you turn it on and you don't need it till 9. I mean, that's 2 hours. Do you do that at home? You don't turn your oven on at home 2 or 3 hours. So. Okay, so most of you are familiar with these. These are the cleaning tabs for your oven, and we want you to clean the ovens twice a week. one on light and one on strong. But still use one and one. This one, most of you know, goes in here. This one, this particular one goes in here. And what I have found, and I've seen people do it, if you take this out, in the middle, take this two middle ones out, makes it easier to put that in there. I've seen people before struggling to try to get them in there. That's the easiest way that I saw someone doing it. Oh, that's a good tip. So, of course, you go through your paces. Now let's pretend that the cleaning is done. You still have to wipe this baby down. You still have to come in here, wipe this down. You could use like mild soap, even a little bit of vinegar if you want, vinegar and water. Wipe the door seals down. You're always going to have a little bit of residue. Wipe the glass down, and also this will pop open so you can get this side and get this. Always make sure that this trough right here is debris free, because when it's being used in the steamer, it condensates, and if this little hole is plugged up, then you're going to have water just coming out. So another tip too right here, when you get done cleaning it, make sure you're going to get crumbs and food particles here on this trough. Wipe it out. Don't push it down that drain hole, because that hole's not very big and it's going to get food particles in there. Then before you know it, you're going to have water coming out. You can always take this, if you can manipulate it without spraying yourself, just kind of like go real light, and that will push some of that stuff that has built up in there. Never spray it. Obviously, don't spray it when it's hot. I know some people might get in a big hurry. It has a cool down feature, and that's a big no-no because it'll warp the stainless steel finish. At the end of the day, when you're done, make sure you pop your doors open. Once again, it's better for the door seals. It relaxes the seals and they'll last longer. And obviously clean this, because the cleanness is a reflection of your kitchen. If you got clean ovens, that generally means that you got a pretty clean kitchen. And also, don't be preheating these babies to 475, please. What it does, and you don't realize this, it warps these, and these are about $600 a pop. So here's a very important number. I don't know how many of you guys know this. Most of the managers should, but new managers coming on board and staff, this number is dedicated to each piece of equipment, and it's for tracking purposes. Please, when you choose the craft, like meaning like this, will go under kitchen. Let's say you're having problems with a leaky faucet or water, I go, please pick the plumber. You're having issues with your lighting, electrical, please pick the electrician. If you're having problems with your HVAC, pick HVAC or air conditioning. We have all those titles, and it's very important because the sooner you do that, the ladies in the office may not be familiar with everything, and it's easier for them to say, oh yeah, I know who that goes to, instead of second guessing. Here's an important tip. Get familiar with your fans. If your unit has multiple fans, make sure they're both running. If you notice that one isn't running, put in the work order. Another thing, their lights. There's so many walk-ins out there that has one or two lights. Just put in the work order for that. The lights go to the electrician, and the fans go to your HVAC guys. So moving forward as managers on work orders, make sure you pick the correct category. Walk-ins, your reach-ins, your milk coolers, that goes to refrigeration. Hood systems, air conditioning goes under HVAC. Here's another tip to you NS1s and 2s. You touch the equipment probably more than your manager does, so you guys are around the equipment a little more. If you see something that's broken, please bring it to the attention of the manager. Like that, you're not getting frustrated because something's broken and you feel, oh, the manager should know that, but they're busy. They're busy doing other stuff. Bring it to their attention. It'll help everybody in the long run. So this is a subject, I'm not an expert at it, but I do recognize when the door doesn't close properly. If you guys notice that the door's not closing properly, don't let it go. Don't wait for somebody else to put in the work order. Let your manager know that it's not shutting so we could address it ASAP. I don't know how many of you guys know or are familiar with your kill switches. These are for emergency. Let's say one of your pieces of equipment is shooting out sparks or is catching on fire. Go over and hit these. There's several throughout. This school has one there, one here, and I'm sure there's another one somewhere else. Get familiar with it. Another subject that we're going to focus a lot this coming year is clean the top of your equipment. In general, cleaning your equipment, period. Need to make the time to clean your equipment, the tops, the sides. That's why we have the spray, stainless steel spray. This kitchen's a big place. One person cannot clean it all. We all need to pitch in. We're going to be using a cleaning chart this year, and we're really going to focus on that because it's a reflection of the staff, the kitchen. Visitors come in, you want to be proud of your kitchen. How many of you guys are familiar with your stainless steel cleaner? And you know what it's for? For cleaning your stainless steel. Please use it. It'll get rid of a lot of these stains and marks and crud. Here's another tip. A lot of you guys will get familiar with your dish machines and you start hearing a funny noise or it doesn't sound right. Some of you are real good about putting the work order. Take care of this baby. You know what? I'm just a day or two away when you put in the work order because if you guys don't take care of this baby, guess what? You're going to be washing by hand. Nobody wants to do that. Here's another tip that I see a lot. Most of these machines will not stop automatically as the racks will build up. That damages the rack system and the motor, and it also damages your racks. As you can see, that right there, that's a sign. And you'll notice that not all your racks will pull correctly. That's because they're damaged. Here's another tip. When you're, at the end of the day, when you're taking your dish machine apart, please have an expert that's real familiar in putting it together. Don't throw a new employee in there and then they put it back together wrong and then you're calling me for something very simple. And if we need to develop an expert, just call me and we'll choose someone, and that person could be your go-to for the rest of the staff. Here's another tip. A lot of managers don't realize that as your currents get real brittle and nasty, of course you're going to allow more water to come out. Put in the work order. Just that simple, and I'll replace them. Here's another tip. On this machine, when you turn it on, you flip it over to on, do not hit this, please. Let the machine fill up, and then you start operating it. I see this a lot. People turn this one on and turn this one on. That the motors are running with no water in it. That's bad for the motors. Okay, so here's one of the tips, and I get this call a lot. Deliming. So a lot of people will put this baby on the liming cycle, which is the manual, and then they forget. They finish doing it, they forget, and I get that call. Tony, my dish machine keeps running. It keeps running all the time, and I go out there and luckily something simple. I just flip this over and guess what? It's back to normal cycle. Let's talk about this baby right here. I see this too often. This baby will be pointing on the outlet of the dish machine. What that does is actually it cools the temperature of your dish machine down, and if the house inspector comes in, guess what? What this is designed to do is designed to help keep you cool and to help cool down the dishes. Because I understand they're coming out of here, they're 180 degrees minimum, sometimes even more, and you go to handle them, yes, they're real hot. This does help cool down the dishes, but it's not to dry the dishes. So let's talk about our new piece of equipment, tilt skillet. Moving forward, we're going to be getting these. They're very versatile. Once you get familiar with them, you're gonna love them. But it's just a matter of getting used to them. And give it some time. You'll love them. So just like any other piece of equipment that gets water put in it, make sure you clean it out because it will get scale buildup, will get stain and all that. So just like you do your wells, it's the same here. Well, let's talk about these babies right here. When you put a can in there, you really have to push down on it hard. I know some are stronger than others. One of the things that I do find, see how loose this is? Make sure that this is nice and tight. This has to be cleaned. This has to be cleaned daily if you guys use it. And if you're having problems with it, I'm just a work order away. Just like any piece of equipment, take care of your own cooler. We don't have that many extras, so if it goes down, boy, you know how rough that makes it for everybody. And one of the things that I noticed, let's start doing a better job of clean the seals, clean underneath the seals, clean the drains. And don't let your doors slam. Don't slam your doors. You don't do that at home with your refrigerator. Treat it as your equipment at home. You see that ice in there? That's something that needs to be reported ASAP because it could turn out to be a greater issue. And guess what? Food's going to spoil or food's going to have to be moved somewhere and nobody likes that. So moving forward, as you see right here, 18 inches. So we cannot have anything stacked above 18 inches. That's a new Fire Marshal mandate. And every single storeroom, not only ours, are affected. That means across the district. And please use a step ladder to take this down safely.